Picture this with me. The year is 2013 in the scorching Egyptian desert at the base of the Mountain of Anubis near Abydos. Archaeologists are carefully excavating Middle Kingdom tombs when suddenly their tools strike something massive buried beneath centuries of sand. What they unearthed that day would spark debates that continue to this very moment. Imagine their astonishment as they brushed away the desert sand to reveal a colossal stone box crafted from red-purple quartzite, weighing an absolutely mind-boggling 60 tons. That equals approximately 30 full-size SUVs or 40 small cars compressed into a single monolithic structure. But here's what will blow your mind. This wasn't found inside any tomb or temple. It was simply buried in the sand, about 100 meters away from mysterious undecorated tombs that might predate dynastic Egypt itself. Now, let me take you inside this incredible artifact, because what ancient engineers created here really defies belief. The exterior of this box appears crude and roughly hewn, but step inside and you enter a different world entirely. The interior surfaces are perfectly flat and polished to a mirror-like finish. The corners are carved with such precision that they maintain a tolerance of just 0.5 degrees. To put this in perspective, modern engineers using advanced machinery would be proud to achieve such accuracy. The box measures approximately 9 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 4.3 feet deep, with carefully carved recesses inside that archaeologists believe were meant to hold a royal sarcophagus and the canopic chest containing the mummified organs of a pharaoh. But wait, because the story gets even more incredible. Remember I mentioned this massive box was found buried in the sand? Well, exactly 100 years before this discovery, in 1901, British archaeologists excavated a nearby structure called Tomb S10. In their documentation, they described finding a massive quartzite lid carefully dressed from the inside. Then, for an entire century, this lid was forgotten until 2002, when archaeologists re-excavated Tomb S10 and rediscovered the lid still perfectly intact. When they analysed it, the conclusion was stunning. This lid matches our mysterious box perfectly. The lid alone weighs between 18 and 20 tons, bringing the total weight of the complete structure to approximately 80 tons of solid quartzite. Now here's where our archaeological detective work becomes truly fascinating. There are only 2 locations in all of Egypt where quartzite can be found. The first is at Aswan, located about 140 miles south of Abydos. The second quarry, called Gebel Ahmar, which translates to the Red Mountain, sits approximately 260 miles north of Abydos, near modern Cairo. Now, scientists analysed the crystal structure and grain patterns of our mysterious box and discovered something that changes everything. The quartzite matches perfectly with the stone from Gebel Ahmar, near Cairo. Do you understand what this means? Ancient Egyptian engineers transported this 80-ton monolith more than 540 kilometers or 340 miles upstream against the current of the Nile River. Ancient seekers, let's pause here because we need to ask ourselves a perplexing question. Why would they transport stone from so far north when Aswan's quartzite quarry was much closer, and they could have travelled downstream with the current, making everything easier? Perhaps the answer lies in what modern scientists discovered about the unique properties of this particular quartzite. You see, the stone from Gebel Ahmar contains more than 90% pure quartz, which means it possesses incredibly strong piezoelectric properties. The piezoelectric effect is a phenomenon where certain crystals generate electrical charges when subjected to mechanical stress. Many researchers theorize that ancient Egyptians understood and deliberately utilized these properties, which might explain why they used so much red granite containing 70 to 80% quartz in structures like the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid. But this quartzite is almost pure quartz, making these effects even more powerful. Now, let's talk about something that will absolutely astound you: the incredible difficulty of working with this material. I've researched the Mohs hardness scale extensively, and here's what we know. Red granite from Aswan ranks between 6 and 7 on the hardness scale. Quartzite, however, ranks between 7 and 8, making it significantly harder than granite. While red granite is challenging to shape, quartzite is described by modern stoneworkers as a completely different beast. It's dense, brittle, and glass-like, where one wrong strike can shatter it into pieces. Yet somehow ancient craftsmen created perfectly flat surfaces, sharp inner corners, and a polish like glass on this massive structure. Even more remarkable, quartzite wears down abrasives like sand and dolerite pounding stones 30 to 40% faster than granite, meaning the work would have taken exponentially longer. Here's another mystery that baffled archaeologists for years. Experimental archaeology teams attempted to replicate the carving techniques using tools available to ancient Egyptians. Their conclusion? It would have taken several years just to carve the interior of this box, and that's without accounting for the monumental logistics of quarrying, transporting and positioning an 80-ton monolith. Speaking of transportation, the largest ancient Egyptian ship ever discovered is the Khufu ship, which recently made headlines when it was moved to the new Grand Egyptian Museum. But even this magnificent vessel raises serious questions about how you would transport an 80-ton quartzite box 540 kilometers upstream on the Nile River using ancient technology. But what if we're thinking about this all wrong? In our previous episode, we explored a revolutionary theory that could change everything we know about ancient Egyptian stoneworking. Researcher Marcel Foti has demonstrated something incredible. Using simple means theoretically available to ancient Egyptians, he successfully melted red granite from Aswan. If this geopolymer theory is correct, imagine the implications. Instead of carving this massive box from solid stone, ancient engineers might have created a form of ancient concrete by pulverizing quartzite into powder, transporting it in bags across the desert by camel or donkey, and then casting it directly on site. This would explain the perfect interior surfaces, the precise corners, and eliminate the seemingly impossible transportation challenges. Could they have poured it like concrete? The evidence is intriguing and demands further investigation. Now, let me show you something else discovered at Abydos that connects to our mystery. Archaeologists found one of the oldest large-scale breweries in Egypt, dating back to the first dynasty of Pharaoh Narmer. This industrial complex was capable of brewing thousands of litres of beer, suggesting a sophisticated, organized society right from the very beginning of recorded Egyptian history. But here's what puzzles historians. According to conventional timelines, before the first dynasty, there was Dynasty 0, and before that, supposedly just hunter-gatherers living in small communities with primitive technology. How do we explain such advanced operations appearing seemingly overnight? How do we reconcile massive engineered structures like our quartzite box with the official narrative of gradual civilization development? The Mountain of Anubis area continues to reveal its secrets. pre-dynastic tombs showing signs of sophisticated engineering with no inscriptions stand alongside Middle Kingdom tombs with typical Egyptian designs and paintings. The mysterious Osirion displays gigantic megalithic granite blocks with precision that rivals anything at Giza. Pre-dynastic burial sites, some of the earliest known in Egypt, dot the landscape. Even the Pyramid of Ahmose, the youngest pyramid in Egypt, stands here now completely collapsed, despite being the most recent, making us wonder about construction techniques and material choices across different periods. Fellow time travellers, what we've discovered today at Abydos opens more questions than answers. An 80-ton quartzite box transported hundreds of miles against the Nile's current, carved with impossible precision using supposedly primitive tools, found buried mysteriously away from any tomb. Advanced industrial operations appearing at the dawn of Egyptian civilization. Sophisticated engineering in pre-dynastic structures that predate the conventional timeline. All of this suggests that our understanding of ancient Egyptian capabilities, technological knowledge, and historical development might need serious revision. What do you think about this incredible mystery? Could ancient Egyptians have possessed lost technologies or advanced techniques we don't yet understand? Does the geopolymer theory explain these impossible achievements? Share your theories in the comments below, because your insights might unlock the next piece of this ancient puzzle. Make sure you're subscribed to Treasures of History and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next archaeological adventure. Join us next time as we continue uncovering the treasures that time forgot and the secrets that changed the world forever. Until then, keep exploring, keep